Imagine finding out the baby you loved might not actually be yours.
Yeah.
That shock is just horrific enough. But then your spouse actually bribed a doctor to forge the DNA results.
Right.
Because the entire pregnancy, the whole paternity declaration, it was all meticulously planned financial fraud, designed just to seize half your assets. Okay, let's unpack this then. Our mission today is to follow that full timeline. The narrator, he owned a small but, successful construction company, started by his father.
Yep.
He met this woman, Vanessa, they call her, at a charity event. They married quickly, and when the pregnancy announcement came, he said he was just over the moon.
Absolutely overjoyed. Early in their relationship, Vanessa gave him this compliment that she said she loved how simple he was.
Simple.
And he reflected later, after everything, that she wasn't using simple in a good way.
Right. Not like straightforward.
No, exactly. She meant naive or easy to manipulate. She basically saw a profitable target, not a partner.
That reframing is just, it's absolutely chilling when you think about it.
It really is.
The target wasn't him, it was his company, his assets.
The whole package.
And, as the pregnancy went on, those classic red flags started popping up, the kind you hear about.
Totally. Vanessa suddenly started locking her phone. Big one.
Always a sign.
And she began refusing to let him come to doctor's appointments, claimed they were, quote, just routine, isolating him. Right, and this growing isolation, it was punctuated by these clear moments of, psychological warfare, really.
Like what?
The narrator remembers hearing her whisper to someone on the phone, and this is a direct quote from the source material. Don't worry, he believes everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and while he tried to dismiss it at first, that single phrase just sort of, it lodged itself in his mind. It was the seed of doubt.
I can imagine. But the ultimate voice of suspicion, the one that really set the stage for everything that followed, that was his mother.
It was his mother. She apparently never trusted Vanessa, and her assessment wasn't vague, it was incredibly specific.
What did she say?
She told her son flat out that Vanessa's smile hides something sharp.
Wow. Something sharp.
Yeah, that really set the stage for the crucial moment, the baby's birth, when that doubt just became physical, undeniable.
So when the baby was born?
Yeah, when the baby arrived, the narrator's mother was actually the first one to voice the doubt out loud. She apparently froze when she saw the child. Froze, and then just stated, he doesn't look like you.
Oh, direct.
Very direct. And that physical observation, seeing the baby himself, it finally broke through the narrator's denial. It pushed him to seek a DNA test, but behind Vanessa's back.
Okay, so he decides to get the test secretly. And here is where the premeditation of the whole scheme just really comes into focus. It's incredible.
It is, because before the narrator could even get his own test results back, Vanessa preempted him, like with lightning speed.
Oh. What did you do?
She met him, supposedly crying, very emotional.
The performance.
Totally. Holding this professionally prepared document, looked totally official, claiming 99.9% paternity.
Just like that, she had it ready.
Ready to go. She played the emotional victim perfectly, claimed she was so upset by his suspicion.
Oh, turning it back on him.
Exactly, that she helped speed things up by calling the clinic herself, trying to make him feel guilty for even thinking about testing.
Wow, that's manipulative. But the source, it clarifies that this document she had, completely fraudulent.
100% fake.
So walk us through the mechanism here.
The source confirms she had actively bribed the lab technician, or maybe the doctor involved, with $2,000 cash to physically forge the report, the result itself.
Okay, but why? Why go to all that trouble, risk a criminal investigation, just for a paternity test result?
The goal was the legal obligation that came after it. Just 2 weeks after showing him those fake 99.9% results, she started pressuring him intensely.
To do what?
To sign the birth certificate. She kept emphasizing they needed to do it before the deadline.
The deadline. That deadline is the whole game, isn't it?
It's everything. She used the manufactured legitimacy from the forged test results to push him over that final legal hurdle.
So by getting his signature using the fake test, she legally locked him in.
Locked him in completely.
Secured his financial responsibility, set him up for child support payments.
For potentially 18 years or more.
And made any future divorce settlement way more favorable to her, even if the fraud was eventually exposed.
Precisely. Random opportunism. It was deeply personal.
Okay, that's the element that just adds this bizarre layer of cruelty, isn't it? She wasn't acting alone.
No, she wasn't. The narrator later found out she was seeing someone else. And get this. It was his old neighbor. The same guy who used to bully him.
Yeah.
Like, relentlessly, back in high school.
Were you serious?
Dead serious. The source claims that the two of them, Vanessa and this old bully, planned the entire setup together from the beginning.
She had the fake test, she had the signed birth certificate, she had the co-conspirator bully. She was ready for the payoff.
She thought she had it all sewn up.
Believed she'd executed the perfect crime. But this is where this external system failure just breaks her entire scheme wide open.
Right, and it's fascinating because the whole thing unraveled not because of the narrator's own detective work, hiring PIs or anything. No, it unraveled because the clinic, the actual lab where the bribe happened, was audited.
An audit, just like a random audit. Or related to this.
It was likely just an administrative audit, could have been routine for all we know, but the result was anything but routine for Vanessa.
Okay, so what happened during the audit? How did it expose her specific bribe?
Well, during that scrutiny, the doctor who took the money, he confessed.
He just admitted it.
Spilled everything. Admitted accepting the $2,000 from Vanessa specifically to forge those DNA results. It was a complete documented confession.
That's unbelievable.
And it provided the narrator with, undeniable proof. Ironclad evidence.
What an incredible stroke of luck.
Yeah.
Or maybe, as he called it, karma.
Right. So with that confession secured, the narrator immediately went for an official retest. No more secrecy.
And the result?
The real report confirmed his worst suspicion. A definitive, unambiguous 0% probability of paternity.
0%.
0. So he confronted Vanessa with this hard evidence, the confession, the real test results, and apparently she didn't even try to deny it.
No denial. What did she say?
Her response was just terrifyingly cold and immediate. She offered this justification that completely revealed her, self-serving worldview. She said, quote, "I did it for security. You never would have stayed."
Wow. Just admitted it was all transactional.
Fully accepted the fraud, framed it as something she had to do for her own security.
Unbelievable. Okay, so at this point, most people would probably just file for divorce, right? Maybe try to disestablish paternity legally, get back some financial footing.
That would be the typical route, yeah.
But the narrator had one final, really tactical card to play.
He did.
Before he filed for divorce, before he officially left, he made a move.
He knew she was preparing to file for divorce. He knew she was coming after half his personal estate.
Right.
So before she could file, he transferred every dollar and every personally held asset he possibly could into the name of his construction company. By transferring the funds and assets into the company, maybe classifying it as retained earnings or a capital investment or using it to buy new equipment for the business, those assets stopped being his personal property.
So they weren't on the table for the divorce.
Not directly, no.
Wow. The look on her face when she finally filed for divorce, demanding half of my money, as he put it, it must have been priceless.
Oh, you have to imagine. She thought she was targeting this wealthy individual. When the case went before the judge, the ruling was decisive. Vanessa would get absolutely nothing from the company assets.
No.
Nothing. Because the significant assets were legally held by the corporation again, that separate entity, they simply could not be legally divided in his personal divorce settlement.
That is just...
Wow.
Wow. And the final sting, the final bit of karma here was truly remarkable.
It really was. She walked into that courtroom demanding potentially millions, all based on a fraud she orchestrated.
Yeah.
And she walked out completely broke. Even worse for her, the court ordered her to pay his legal fees.
She had to pay his lawyers.
She essentially ended up financing her own utter defeat.
That is the ultimate financial victory against such calculated deceit. The narrator summed it up perfectly in his reflection. He said, karma doesn't always come fast, but when it does, it hits hard.